What's up, guys? Here with the JG Sig 552. Now, I got this from the Evike boneyard for $75. It did have some hop-up issues and some other issues as well, but easily fixed. I'll talk about those in a little bit. But this is kind of just going to be an informal video or review about this. I'm not going to do a chrono and shooting test, being that I did have to do internal alterations to get it working, so it's not shooting as it should be if you bought it new. I will have a link in the description to Jarek 4's chrono and shooting tests, because they do show this gun stock. They're a pretty good video. So check those out if you're interested in actually buying this and you want to see how it works or how it performs. But shooting around 340 feet per second at around, I'm going to say 16, 17 rounds a second on an 8.4 volt battery, which is pretty nice. So on a 9.6, this thing will be shooting pretty fast. You can normally get these around $120 to $150, depends where you buy it. But like I said, I got this for $75 off the boneyard and fixed it myself. And so now to the review. So here we are with the gun. I'm just going to briefly go over the problems that I had with this gun when I first got it, being that it was a boneyard gun, and then the upgrades and attachments I put onto it. If you're not interested in that, you just want to see or listen to the brief overview of the gun, then look at that annotation right there. It'll tell you what time to skip to for just the overview. But when I got this, bought it for $75. It had some hop-up issues. The bucking had a BB lodged in it. No, the hop-up had a BB lodged in it with a bunch of grease from the gearbox, and it was just nasty. So I took out the bucking, which was cracked and dried, put in a new hop-up bucking, put in a new hop-up nub, and put in a new inner barrel. I have an Angel Customs 6.01 millimeter, I think 230 millimeter long inner barrel in here. That's pretty much for internal upgrades. Didn't do anything to the gearbox itself. I have a little rubberized vertical grip here. It was missing a body pin, so I just took a little piece of wood right here, just a little dowel rod, cut it to the right length, and it fit in there, fit the body pin slot perfectly. So saved myself $10, because for some reason Evike wanted $10 for a small body pin, which I thought was outrageous. The gun was missing a magazine, so I just bought this one as well as a ICS. So I have around 500 rounds worth of magazines for this gun. As for up here, this rail does not come with the gun. This is you can get it for around $20. I do recommend it because you can't otherwise mount optics on here. It's easy to install, and you can put pretty much any sight you want. I just have this little red dot. If you are interested, I bought this from got this from airsoftclub.com. Link is right there for the review. But moving on to the back, it did have an issue with the stock locking forward. When you fold it, part of the locking mechanism was gone. So what I did was I put two little magnets here, and I put two magnets here on the stock. So now it locks perfectly into place. The stock doesn't swing open unless I want it to. Then you can just lock it into place, and no worries there. So this is actually a great little CQB gun if you're on a budget. But now to the actual overview, just a brief overview hopefully. It has a retractable or a folding stock. The button is right here, so you just hit that button, and the stock will fold forward and lock. Then you can just apply a little bit of pressure and it will lock back into place, so you have a full stock on there. You have the ambidextrous safety selector and full safety, semi, and full auto. One thing I did notice was there's no firm click when you switch from semi, safe, and full. So if you're trying to go to semi, you kind of just have to guess halfway in between safe and full. So just a little annoyance there, no big deal. When I did get this, it was also missing the rear iron sight, so I can't really comment on that because I don't have a rear iron sight. Moving forward, you have your trigger guard, which does swing side to side, so you can move it out of the way. It also swings the other way. You can move it out of the way if you have gloves on your hands. Say it's cold. I live in Florida, so I don't have issues with snow. But if it's snowing and you have gloves on to keep your hands warm, then you can easily swing the trigger guard out of the way and you can easily access the trigger. It has somewhat of an AK style magazine release. Just pull this little lever forward and that releases your magazine. The magazine has the little lip on the front and loads like an AK magazine. You lock that in forward and then you push the back of the magazine in and it'll lock in place. There's actually pretty much no magazine wobble whatsoever on this gun, which was quite nice. Right here you have your mock bolt or your fake bolt. It is made of plastic, so don't let it slam forward. So it reveals your hop-up unit. It's pretty much just a wheel hop-up that rotates around the barrel, so you can just move it side to side and adjust your hop-up easily. Moving forward, here are your hand grips. It does come with this rail on the bottom and one rail on the right side of the rifle, which is quite nice. If you do want to release the, and by the way, I added this vertical grip, but if you want to take off the handguard, which is where the battery is held, simply pull out the body pin right here in the front, push back on the lower part of the hand grip, and the upper part of the handguard will come off. You can fit an 8.4 volt battery or possibly a small 7.4 volt lipo. Like if you had a 7.4 volt 500 milliamp hour lipo in here, you could probably fit that, but you can't fit a 9.6 or any larger lipos or anything. I've tried with nunchuck 9.6s and butterfly 9.6s. They just don't fit for some reason, or there's just not enough room. So you have to stick with your 8.4 volt or a 7.4 volt with a low milliamp hour lipo. You can take this black part out right here, this divider. The only purpose for that is to keep the 8.4 volt from wobbling around in the handguard. So there's a little bit of space, but not enough for 9.6. And to put it on, you just put the front end of the handguard back in, and then you can slide the lower portion forward and put the body pin back in. Moving on to the front, your simple Sig style flash hider. I just put a little bit of black tape on it because this whole piece is originally orange, so I just put a little black tape on there. And then you have your sight. You have two different sort of sight pictures. You have, let me see if I can get you guys a good view of this. You can see that. There's one sight picture, and then you can swing down the little post in the front and it gives you a different sight picture. So just for closer and farther away targets, hopefully you guys can see what I was showing you. But that's pretty much the gun. Just a brief overview right there. Hopefully it was brief enough. If you are seriously considering buying this, check out the shooting test right there. I will not be doing a shooting test, like I said, because this gun is not stock and I don't want to give you guys a false idea of how this gun should be shooting. So based on other people's Chronos and shooting tests, it shoots around 330 to 350 feet per second, and it's around 16 rounds per second on a 8.4 volt. You can get this for $120 to $150 online, and I think it's great for a lower budget CQB gun or even a field gun, but mostly CQB. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and like Aderonn Airsoft on Facebook. If you have any comments or questions at all, leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer you as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.